All right, today I'm going to explain the benefits for using Azure with your company and why would you want to use this technology. And the first thing I'm going to go over is the virtual machines, and this would be a major advantage to multiple locations. So this would probably be more useful to the bigger companies, but smaller businesses that have multiple locations would also benefit. And loading it in here, there's going to be a lot of different items that you can look at right away. As you can see, there's a CPU average down there. And as well, there's going to be some brief information up on the top. And why this would be a good thing was the 64-bit Windows VMs will actually be typically 2008 or newer. And you can see up at the top here, it's Mavic 11. And then you can have the data for the last, up to 30 days and the different calibrations that you'd want to look at within there. And also you have your public IP address, your DNS name. Also, it'll have your resource group. So if you have different groups in your business, that would be part of it. The location, so say this was in South Korea, you'd be able to use that there. The subscription you're on and the subscription ID, which could be used for any technical support, also to prove that you're paying for it. And then it'll show your computer name, operating system, and the size, all in this general area for the virtual machine. Also, the scalability and flexibility. You could have 10 users up to 10,000, even 10 million if you really wanted, without any additional coding within there. After you create a web app, you'd have a specific number of processes for the application to use. And also here in the marketplace, you can see that there's quite a few different apps that you could add in. One of these is storage, for example, would be like Dropbox or OneDrive. And those would be right in there connected into one. And then you could see down here at the bottom, there's monitoring management, all kinds of different resources.
All right, I'm going to talk to you today about Microsoft Azure and what it does / adds to the business. One main thing is scalability. One of the major benefits of using Microsoft Azure Cloud server instead of a physical one is the ease of scaling it. If you purchase a physical server, the hardware inside is set unless you upgrade it, which is costly and can be time consuming. That's not the case with Azure Server. You can pay as you go, kind of monthly by monthly, and you can instantly scale your usage up or down. Say you're a traveling agency and you host your company's website for Azure. Just an example, if you get a lot more traffic in the summer where people are traveling more frequently, you can improve the server's performance only during those peak times. Another thing about Microsoft Azure is the reasonable time estimations. Is that some parts of the virtual machines aren't cheap, but you can also scale your costs and what you want your machines to have as like a hard drive. It could cost a couple $100 or even a couple thousand depending on which server you want. But it is, like I said before, it allows you to pay for the use of a server month to month instead of all at once, and you kind of use it as you go. The scalability you mentioned, like I said before, provides an opportunity for more savings. If you have a more powerful server than you do, you can save money by scaling it back, and it doesn't charge any termination fees, and you don't have to pay upfront. You can pay what you use, and it's great for business with varying use needs. The time and effort for adapting this technology is that Azure Cloud servers provide lots of benefits for physical hardware. Scalability means that you don't have to pay for more than you use, so your costs don't come all at once. It is a wise move for a lot of companies in that aspect of costs. But it takes a lot of training to do also, but go.
So I will be talking about the strategic advantages of Azure compared to its competitors. Azure has a high serviceability rate that is approximately 99.95%, or roughly 4 hours of downtime each year. Azure is also more globally placed than its competitors. Azure's capability with the .NET programming languages is one of the most useful benefits of Azure compared to its competitors. Azure also has an integrated environment for developing, testing, and deploying cloud apps. Another strategic advantage of Azure compared to its competitors is it's not complicated to use with the numerous tutorials it has, so a user can understand the system. The next part I will be talking about is the size of the market for cloud computing services. Azure currently holds 10% of the cloud market share. Azure also has reported a 90% growth, which is double its leading competitor AWS.
First, I'll start by talking about the rollout of Azure versus competitors. One of the problems with companies that are planning to migrate to cloud computing is their use of legacy apps. Not all companies would have the resources to create new apps for the cloud environment or even start everything up. For those, they need to rely on legacy apps. A hybrid cloud that would combine the cloud environment with the data centers would be a lot of help. Hybrid clouds are also one of the most popular choices for some companies that do not want to make a full conversion to the cloud and would want to keep some of their data and systems in-house. Hybrid clouds are easier with Azure, partly because Microsoft has foreseen the need for hybrid clouds early on. Azure offers substantial support for hybrid clouds. This makes moving the cloud seamless. Also, if applications utilize Microsoft's products or languages, Azure can help you sustain and take advantage of Microsoft's ecosystem. The other thing I'd like to talk about is the costing of products versus competitors. The cost of products for these services can be expensive depending on what you need for your cloud service, but Azure is said to be the lowest price competitor along with Amazon Web Service. Azure will match or beat AWS prices for similar products. The pricing on these products is hard to set as one price, depending on what you need or the other characteristics of the product.